and welcome to another edition of Fort Wayne Up Close. Today, I have the pleasure of having another young man who has made it through the southeast side of Fort Wayne and has thrived and is doing great things. And he actually works for, a great bank. As you guys know, I'm JJ Foster from Lake City Bank. And my guest today is Justin Taylor.
Thank you.
From Lake City Bank.
Yes.
And as I said, a proud Southeast Fort Wayne alum.
Yes. Paul Harding Hawk.
All right, Paul Harding Hawk. And before we get started, as is our new tradition here at OMV, we'll have a moment in prayer and then we'll jump off into this interview. Lord, thank you for allowing us this platform to get our message out to the people. And Lord, continue to bless the people that are interested in hearing our message that we have and that we present. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Justin, as I said, Harding Hawk alum, Southeast Fort Wayne. Now you're at Lake City.
Yes.
But prior to getting there, tell us, where'd you go? Where'd you go to college?
So once I left Harding, I went to IU for, it's funny. I originally went to be a sports agent. It's funny, but I ended up getting a history degree. After that, I sold cars for a little bit, got into retail. I have about 8 years of retail management experience, a little bit of insurance adjusting experience, and I have been with the bank. It has been 7 years this month. It'll be 7 years.
Okay.
This month. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Originally started to open up our Indianapolis downtown branch as a retail banker or a teller, and then worked my way into my current position during the pandemic, actually. So.
Gotcha. That's funny because that's when I actually started with Lake. Was during the pandemic.
Sure. Yeah.
But so you said a sports agent, got a history degree, sold cars.
Sure.
How'd you get off into retail? What made you want to go the banking route?
So to be honest, I didn't know. I mean, it's funny because I was a store manager for Finish Line for 4 years, and I felt like that was kind of a similar situation. So with Finish Line, I just essentially had a interview and was there for 4 years, right? Same with the bank, right? I just came in for the interview and got the position. Once I got in the door, loved it, right? I had a really good boss who brought me in and who helped me develop. And my current position opened up and I applied and here I am. So, yeah.
Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. And Lake City. So Lake City, that was your first bank?
First banking job. Yes. First and only at this point. Yeah.
I was going to say, now talk to us about your experience with Lake City. I mean,
sure.
I hear a lot of great things about Lake City.
Absolutely.
Talk to the people about
it. So, I mean, one of the first things I noticed when, when I got to Lake City Bank is just how pleasant everybody was. And it's, when I'm new somewhere, specifically professionally, if I don't feel comfortable asking questions, it's not going to work for me. And they made me completely comfortable with that. And just my time being here, the pleasantness that I mentioned is it's our culture, right? It's our culture. It's not just, something that we preach. We actually live it. We're actually thoughtful about it. We, a lot of great examples of us, living out our core values when it comes to that. So
there you go. Really and I was gonna say I would echo your sentiment.
Sure.
Because I'm 5 years, you're 7 years, sure. I'm 5 years at Lake City. And the people that know me out there in TV land know I've been in human services since 1992. Mm-hmm. And I've been in human services all those years before I got to Lake City. And a lot of people said, man, what would make you go to that side? What would make you,
sure.
Step into non-for-profit world?
Sure.
And a lot of the same stuff that you said. Like I told people, I was privy to, when I was at the Housing Authority, I was had a relationship with all the banks and bringing them in, bringing services into the people. So got to know, Christy Merwaring from Lake City.
Yep.
And she actually was the one that recommended me for the job. But once, I started the process and got to meet the people, everything that, like you said, the core values that we talked about, they're real.
Yeah.
And they're truly about making a change and truly, about helping people. So it was an easy transition for me. And it's been one of the best transitions that I've made.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really just happy with, with the work we do. And for me, I'm just, I'm proud of some of the things that we do here, right? Like, every time I go into a branch, it's consistent, every time we come together, it's consistent. The nature of my job, I work directly with our employees. So it's, the culture is consistent across the board, and it's something that I'm proud to be a part of. So
okay. Now you said you work with our employees.
I do.
So what is your role that you work with the employees?
Sure. So my official title is I'm the Assistant Vice President for Financial Wellness. I'm also a training officer. So what my role is I run our Financial Wellness Partner Program, which is a free program where we go into businesses, schools, community organizations, and we teach free financial wellness workshops. Now, for the past 5 years, I have essentially been running that program by myself, for anything from organizing the workshops to actually doing the workshops. But one thing I'm proud of, the program has outgrown me, right? Mm-hmm. We do more workshops than one person can handle now. So, I've transitioned to more of a, instructor role, where I actually teach people how to do workshops. So, it's been a long road, a lot of miles on my car.
Big mileage checks.
Big mileage checks. Yes, they are nice. But yeah, I'm very proud of the work that I've done with the bank, and I'm proud of, what's to come with the bank. So,
okay. Now, when you say financial wellness, mm-hmm. Is it more business development, or are these like a tool or / resource, something that our clients could get?
Sure. It's more of a tool resource. So how it works is the program was originally designed for business employees. So like, let's say we have a company that banks with us. We would come in and teach a workshop on budgeting to their employees, right? Mm-hmm. As the program grew, I couldn't tell you how many people would come up to me after these workshops and say, hey, you should do high schoolers, you should do kids. Kids need to learn this stuff. So we rolled out our next gen workshops where we go into high schools and teach the same workshops. There's a little difference between the regular financial wellness and the next gen, but that is how the program was originally set up. I can tell you now, we're in more high schools than businesses now at this point. Okay. The information for kids, high schools take, I can attest from, because again, mileage, high schools take full advantage of that resource. Again, it's a free resource. So, something that we offer.
Okay. So if a high school or for business, somebody wanted to get involved with this program, sure. How would they reach out? How
sure.
Can they do that?
So, they can reach out to any one of our local branches. There is a financial wellness page on our outfacing website. So you can go to our website. You can actually fill out a form. I will receive that form, and I'll be reaching directly out to you. But most workshops are organized by our branches. One of the things I try to tell our employees and our retail employees is, talk to the people we have relationships with, right? Because our retail staff sees these businesses on a regular basis, are in the communities where these high schools are, right? So a lot of our workshops are actually organized by our retail staff. However, if you are interested in the workshop, you can go to our website. There's a form that you can fill out, and I actually get that, and I can reach out to you directly.
Okay. And the website is?
LakeCityBank.com.
LakeCityBank.com. Yes. Our producers can put that in our tagline
sure.
there. Are you familiar with Money Smart?
Yes.
Okay, so what's the difference between Money Smart and the program that you're talking about for the young people?
Simply put, less slides. What we did is we took a lot of our information does come from Money Smart, but what we did is we kind of consolidated it into our actual workshops. Prior to me getting my position with financial wellness as a retail banker in Indianapolis, my branch had a partnership with the Crystal House. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Crystal House.
And that's located in
Indianapolis. Yeah, it's an adult high school. Okay. And what we would do, we partnered with them to do essentially financial wellness workshops, but I would cover Money Smart. And so I found myself consolidating those Money Smart PowerPoints because there are a lot of slides in them. Anytime you have a lot of slides, it takes more time to cover, right? So you wanted to make it more feasible to do the workshops by less slides, right? So we would consolidate them, and then from there, we added some different talking points from Money Smarts that just kind of drives home the point that we're trying to make. So
Okay, gotcha. Now,
Yeah.
now I'm sitting here listening to you talking, and
Sure.
that, look, I don't know if you know, but I did what we call Youth Sense.
okay,
We did a 3-part financial literacy for
Sure.
young people.
Okay.
And I basically kind of like what you said, utilize Money Smart curriculum
Sure.
and brought in, other banks and things, and we kind of taught the classes.
Sure.
But I'm listening to you. I'm wondering how come you weren't on board, and how come?
hey, get me involved. I mean, I'm definitely available. I can definitely get you that material too. I mean, it sounds like you haven't seen the material yet, but
No, I have
Okay,
not.
that's
No,
fine.
that's why I can wait to get you on.
Yeah.
And again,
Sure.
within, like I said, we've had discussions
sure,
too.
yeah,
but-
absolutely,
So
absolutely,
about what you did, what you guys taught,
Absolutely.
and kind of went back because
absolutely.
we do through CRA is heavily the Money Smart,
Sure,
whether it's
sure.
on the adult side or the
Sure.
the kid side. So yeah, I would definitely be interested in
Absolutely.
seeing that.
Absolutely.
And definitely interested in getting you involved because we actually utilized our reality store.
Okay,
And that went over well. We had a group of kids. I want to say probably about 50 people
Sure.
in attendance.
sure,
And retail volunteers, they all came down from Huntington, our local branches.
Okay.
And it was a great time.
fantastic.
And a lot of good feedback. And we're actually, my plan is to do another one sometime, probably this winter. Going to utilize, Southside is right across the street, and there's also an after school program across the street. So, the plan is to get one set up in the gym and
Sure.
and do that. So I definitely will get you involved.
Absolutely, absolutely,
So-
absolutely.
The other thing too, you wear a different hat within Lake
I
City.
do.
And as I don't know, inclusivity committee.
Yep.
What's the title? You the head of it? You the director of it? What's the action?
It's
what
funny.
What do you Akira call the title?
Sure, it's funny. It's funny you mention it because it's really not. There's really no official title, right? I just run the meetings. But yeah. So, just a little bit of background on our committee. It used to be a task force. As we coming out of the pandemic, obviously, the murder of George Floyd, was a huge thing for everybody in this country. But the bank decided to add inclusivity to its core values, right? For those of you who don't know, Lake City Bank is a 152-year-old bank, and we don't add core values very often, right? So once we did that, we developed the task force in 2021, where we decided that we were going to survey the entire bank, right? Just send a survey out, see what people thought about, inclusivity. And we got a tremendous response. And what we learned is that inclusivity mattered to our staff, but there were multiple definitions of it. It was just all over the place. So one of the first things the task force did is develop our first inclusivity class. It was a class that everybody in the bank had to take. It was kind of a level set class where we wanted people to everybody to be on the same page. And then from there, it's grown. I mean, we've grown. We've actually cycled through some different folks. Some folks have jumped on, folks have jumped off, including yourself now. But essentially what we do is we meet once a month and we try to further the game plan that we have for inclusivity. And that may include classes for our staff, internal marketing campaigns like our We Are Lake City campaign, book clubs, lunch and learns. So, the goal is to try to we already understand our bank is inclusive, but we're not perfect, right? We can always do better. So that is kind of the goal of the committee.
Okay. You said there were several definitions of inclusivity.
Sure.
So what is Lake City's bank? What is the definition of inclusivity?
Our definition is being welcoming as an employer, being welcoming as a business, with our services, and being welcoming in our community, being a part of our community, and having and having a say in our community about inclusive topics and trying to be involved in that. I mean, I know you're heavily involved in that, and you're on our committee. But as far as what I do, inclusivity wise, it's more employee based. So our goal is to, let our employees know that, we are welcoming, we are inclusive, but also to give our employees opportunities to learn to further be more inclusive, right? Whether that be through lunch and learns, whether that be through our classes, whether that be through, like I said, our campaigns that we have internally. So.
Okay. And you said, Lake City, we've added that to the core values.
Sure.
So to be that intentional, and obviously if you have some of your core value, that's a big deal.
Sure.
Why is it so important to stress inclusivity? What are the benefits? And
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I'm just going to simply say it's important because it's the right thing to do, right? It's the right thing to do. It is, we live in a society where not everybody's the same, right? And we need to, it's important because we're all not the same, and everybody should have a right to feel welcome. Right. We should feel welcome. I mean, if you're, as we just talked about when we first started with the bank, if I didn't feel welcome with Lake City Bank, I wouldn't be here. Wouldn't be here talking to you. I wouldn't be anywhere. If I didn't feel comfortable, if a bank made me feel uncomfortable, I'm not going to bank with them. Right. So inclusivity is very important because it's the right thing to do. And there are so many different people who we may encounter. There's people I'm sure you've encountered in your position. There's people I've encountered in my position who are not like me, right? But that person has a right to be heard. That person has a right to be understood. And that person has a right to make their point and be listened to. So
yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna help you out because
Sure.
I mean when I hear inclusivity from a productive standpoint, I mean it's beneficial for all. I mean,
Sure.
If you're excluding, you're missing out on a whole different perspective
Sure.
from things.
Sure.
And it's funny because I think you kind of got uncomfortable when I said it, but a lot of people, when you talk inclusivity, people think race.
Right.
It's not just race.
Right.
I mean,
No.
one of my biggest things, I kind of got a chuckle. We deal with age. And, there was an older gentleman in one of our trainings.
Sure.
And he was in there asking questions because he didn't know how to relate to his grandkids.
Sure.
And some of the terminology and things that they were, talking
Absolutely.
about. So now it's the same deal when you're in the workplace. You're of a certain age. Look, I'm an old fella. I'm 56.
Right.
And we have tellers that are 23 that are my
Right.
kids' age.
Right.
So I have to learn how to get along with them.
Absolutely.
So it means everything. And for the benefit of, your organization.
Sure.
Yeah, you have to.
You do.
You
do. And you make an important point that it's not just solely about race, right?
People tensed up and they hear that, but that's
Right.
not.
It's not.
it.
It's not solely about race. I mean, it's, you have veterans, right? You have physical disability, you have mental disability, you have
Male, female.
you have gender, right? You have,
Yes.
I mean, so
religious,
all that. I mean, you have all of those things. So that's one main point that we do try to hone in on, specifically on our committee, is that it's not just solely race, right? It is, we want to be thoughtful in just about every aspect when it comes to inclusivity, right?
Yeah.
So
And you even threw in something, it's funny, the book club.
sure.
Because that's just that's a part of it.
Yeah.
How many people have book clubs?
Absolutely.
Places of
Yeah,
employment.
absolutely.
And book club is big, and that's the thing. And everybody gets a say in what book they want to
Sure.
read.
Yep. Absolutely.
So yes, it is really about, engaging in your people, being in touch with your employees, being in touch with the people that are walking through your
That's
doors.
right.
And, being able to understand them. It's about education, being
Absolutely.
educated. So,
Absolutely.
I mean, I love it.
Yeah.
And it's funny because a lot of people don't know this. When we talk about the Southeast side and you come from Harding,
Yes.
and Harding during your era could be considered majority minority.
Yes.
And you just taught a class today on redlining, and there were so many things that I was sitting back there just, chuckling to myself, in my head, because again, people don't know your story or
Right.
know where
Right.
you come from.
Right.
But I mean, speak to that about your background, where you come from at
Sure.
Harding. And for those that don't know, Harding was a school that ended up closing down.
Yep.
And there was a lot of things that had to do with, I'm not gonna say redlining, but there was some issues that had more to do than just education.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a lot of it had to do with the perception of Harding, right? You know, I always say this. I just, Paul Harding High School was just I don't know if there's another school like it in the state. I mean, we were not a large high school, but we were a very close knit high school. And to your point, majority minority, you know what I mean? Demographic wise, I mean, you had kids from all types of different spectrums, and who performed at different levels academically. But for me, like I said, I mean, I'm proud. I'm always proud of where I come from. And I feel like I learned that at Harding because we were a proud school. That translates into now. I mean, yeah, like I said, I just taught that class on redlining and property taxes drive schools, right? That property taxes drive schools. And, with them closing Harding, I mean, yeah, to your point, I think it had something to do with other than what they said it had to do with. But like I said, I see a lot of me and my colleagues from high school, just doing so well. And so it's a testament of, our hard work, and then also to the hard work of the community and the individuals who are at the school. So.
Yeah, no question. Well, I'll give you an update. They closed Harding. They closed the high school, but then they reopened it, and it is a academy for people that don't live in the neighborhood. So they
okay.
Yeah, spec out people.
Okay.
So imagine that. Yeah, it's
Sure.
closed for the people that's in the neighborhood, and then it's open for everybody that's in that district. So
Okay, so it's like a charter school, private school?
That's
or-
exactly what it is.
Charter school,
Yes,
okay.
It's a university. You can earn college credits. They turn it into a magnet school, but it
Okay.
it's East Island University. It's a member of East Island County.
Okay.
So yeah. So I mean,
Sure.
you can go figure that or
Sure.
do the math on that.
Yeah.
But that was the largest tax base in East Island
Yeah.
County, and for that school to close in that neighborhood,
Yeah.
Again,
I mean, I'm a full product. I went to Southwick across the street. I went to Village, so yeah, I mean, that's unfortunate.
yeah, and I mean, I've had people sit in that chair right there and talk, about why they didn't go to Harding and chose other schools, and they said they thought they would be more prepared because Harding wasn't emblematic
Sure.
of society.
Sure.
But as you navigate
Yeah.
the waters, and did you ever feel ill-equipped or unprepared?
I did not. I did not. And I'm just going to say, if I was ill-equipped to something academically, it was not Paul Harding's fault. It would have been my fault. But no, I did not feel, as a critical thinker, I did not feel that at all. I felt like Harding definitely got me prepared for IU. But also too, you still grow and learn in college as well, right? I wasn't the same student that I was in college that I was in high school. But I mean, I think that foundation from Harding definitely got me ready for whatever was next for me.
Gotcha. Now let's go back. We'll get back to Lake City. But
Let's
no,
do it.
I mean, and again, it's great having you on.
Sure.
Great,
Thank
great
you for
being
having
in
me.
Lake City.
Yes,
with
absolutely.
you. What give us some plans? What kind of plans you guys have with the inclusivity committee?
Okay, so yeah, right now we're really just planning for next year. So how it works is we have classes that our staff takes. There's a menu of classes that they can take. So back to our point about inclusivity not just being about race. In fact, I feel like redlining is really the only class that kind of tied to race that we offer. But I mean, we offer redlining. We offer a class on neurodiversity, which is like autism and spectrum and things of that nature. We have we have the chief public relations officer for the VA in Indianapolis come in and teach our class on veterans. So the point is that we offer this menu of classes, and at this time we are trying to revamp the menu because at this point we've been at it a couple years and we want to make sure it stays fresh. We want to make sure our staff is still excited to take those classes. So we're starting to take a look at some of the classes that we offer. We're also exploring new topics and new classes. So we got a lot in store when it comes to that part. And then of course we're going to continue the book club. Now this is prior to you joining the committee. We did also have lunch and learns where we would have people come in for lunch, and we would cover maybe a podcast or a book.
I participated a few times.
Okay.
I got a couple of them cold subs.
Yeah, right. That's right. Yeah, so we're gonna try to get back into doing hosting lunch and learns as well, and just kind of refocus, as a committee, because again, it's crazy. We've been doing this for about 4 years now, and it's time. It's time for us to kind of reevaluate some things and try to further our agenda. So
Okay. And now you got to talk about classes. So
Sure.
here's something else. Share with folks that makes Lake City a little unique as well. Talk to them about Lake City University and what exactly what is that and how
absolutely, yeah. So Lake City University is actually my department, and it is essentially our training department for the bank. I mean, it's anywhere from what I do with the inclusivity classes to teaching you to actually how to become a teller, right? So you have everything in between. You have leadership classes. For example, Thursday, I'll be sitting in on a leadership class that our CEO is teaching, right? So Lake City University offers an abundant number of different resources for our staff to develop them. Like I said, it starts with the fundamentals, right? It starts with learning. If you're a retail staff member, you start with learning how to run a drawer, right? Learning how to run a cash recycler, learning all of that stuff, and then it transitions into leadership, into inclusivity. So we do a lot of different things for the bank, and we're really flexible. One of the biggest things that we really try to focus on is not just having everything in Warsaw, right? As I don't know if people know, we're based out of Warsaw, Indiana, and you have to come to Warsaw a lot when you work for the bank. But one of the things that we do try to do is try to make things more flexible, have things here in Fort Wayne, have things in Indianapolis, have things in South Bend, so folks don't have to travel as much. But LCU is unique in a sense that a lot of banks may have a training department, but I think that we're very thoughtful and we're very thorough when it comes to our trainings.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I don't know if you mentioned or not, but also taking classes online.
Yep.
And then the other thing that, I'm always impressed with is if you want to be something else, if I wanted to get off in commercial banking, I can go to Lake City University and take classes on being a commercial banker, vice versa, commercial, retail, whatever area we cover at or that we work with or whatever function we have at Lake City, you can go to Lake City University.
Absolutely.
And figure out how that works, and it might be a career path that you might want to take. And
absolutely,
we have people that jump past all the time because then the other thing is when they post different openings, people bid on the positions and whatnot.
Yeah,
and that's in house, and you probably know the numbers better than I do, but I know we have a low employee turnover.
We do.
But as far as in organization promotion, what
that, I mean, I don't know the specific number, but I can tell you that is, we prioritize that. We definitely prioritize that. I can speak for myself. I was actually passed up for a senior retail banking position before I got my financial wellness position. So, that happened. I'll just give you a rundown on that. The financial wellness position opened, and at first when I went to apply for it, it said Goshen. I was like, well, I'm not moving to Goshen from Indianapolis. I'm just not doing that. So I just kept an eye on it, and then they took the Goshen part off of it, and I was able to apply and get that position. Now, I'm not sure had I not applied, had they opened it up to outside. But the point is that we do look to promote inwardly, like in-house. That is something that I think as a bank, we do prioritize, not to discourage anybody from applying from outside, but it's a culture thing, right? It's one of those things that, we want to look at our talent indoors first before we go outside. So
correct.
Yeah.
And to your point, like you said, you started retail. When I go out and talk to, colleges have college fairs and things, and I've talked to different college students, and that's what I've told them. A lot of folks don't know what they want to do.
Right.
Like, hey, get into retail.
Sure.
Because like you said, I didn't know, but that would be a great first job.
Yeah.
Get in at retail, and where you have somebody, you have the tools to be able to advance right there. At your fingertips.
Sure.
It's an excellent opportunity. And as you said, in a great environment and a great culture.
Yep.
So,
yep.
Mr. Justin, it's been a pleasure having you on
wow.
here.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
30 minutes already. Okay. All right.
Hey, yeah. Time flies.
Yes, sir.
Time
Yes,
flies.
sir. Yes, sir. Well, JJ, thank you so much for having me. Whenever you need me.
Hey, will do.
For sure,
That's the
for
thing.
sure.
I reach out, and I love the fact that we have members of the bank
Yep.
that watch, and all the different organizations, plus
Sure.
people that watch on a regular. When we're not on or we miss a week, I'll get people I'm out in the community.
Sure.
Hey, what happened to the last segment? Where you gonna be at?
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
that's one of the things that I really do like, and I do appreciate, because people are out there watching. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
Before we get off, I would like to remind people this Saturday at the Fort Wayne Urban League from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock p.m., we will be starting up the first of our financial literacy, a mental state of mind, the first of 3-part workshop. So come on out, join us. You guys know our format. We'll have different banks there talking about different strategies you can use to help you with in regards to your finances, as well as a couple mental health professionals that'll be on hand too, tying in, talking about mental wellness. So we're going to tie those two together so that we are all living healthy, productive lives. But we're going to feed you physically, we're going to feed you mentally, and it's going to be a good time. And I've actually got texts from people that have brought their kids to the Youth Sense program. They want to know if they can come to the adult. And the answer to that is 100% yes. We want to make it a family environment. We want to bring families out so everybody's learning about financial wellness. And, we start that, the sooner and the earlier age-wise that we can get young people started out, the better off they're going to be when they become adults. But again, I'd like to thank Mr. Justin Taylor, a Southeast product, as you know, at ONV and our 6th District Coalition. Those are people that we like to highlight, like to focus. So we got a bonus with having him on here today. And with that said, we're ONV, and I'm out of here.